everyone, excuse me, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios. If you have been to my channel before, thanks for stopping back into the studio, and if you're new, I'm glad you stopped in. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and so you never miss anything that's going on in the studio. This is finally my February flip through, and it is a little bit late because it was done, but when I put everything together, I realized that I had all this space in between my first two signatures, and I just didn't like it. It was too flip-floppy, and so I tore it apart, and in doing so, I messed up the back. So what I'm going to do after this video is I'm going to use a wider piece than this, but I'm going to revisit the floral fabric you'll see on the inside cover. And I'm going to do, it'll take probably a 6-inch width to go across here and come up the side. So, yeah. Taking this apart was not on my list of things to do, especially since I was doing it at the 11th hour to start with. I'm not going to do that in March, and I'll tell you about March in just a minute. But let's get into the flip through. For the February Find It and Finish It Junk Journal Challenge, we were to use a paper pad. And you know that I used that 1 6x6 from My Mind's Eye. And then we were to shop our stash. Oh yeah, and a matching fabric. And I had this fabric left over from when I had made a garment bag when I sold undercover wear in another lifetime ago. And so I cut up the garment bag, because I liked the colors in it, and it brought in some other colors that were not in the paper pad. Then we had to use 4 form pages, such as ledger, graph, map, that kind of thing. And 5 fancy digis or book pages with images, and that was where I got some of the things was out of that magazine. Not sure where I brought in the form pages at. I don't remember. We'll find out if I got that one in there, huh? I did get all the elements. In fact, I was an overachiever on one of the elements. We were to do a fabric cover, which I've done. Fabric flip in a pocket, you'll see those. 4 fabric tabs. 4 flip-flops. Filled folio with 4 items, which I've turned into one of my signatures when I had to put this back together. A flip-up, flip-down with 4 items. And folded envelope with 4 items and a fancy folding. When I did the flip up, flip down with 4 items, I was thinking I needed 4 flip up, flip downs. And so I had to go back and redo those. So, yeah, February, what I needed to do for February was kind of a jumble for me. But then we were to use the scavenger hunt list. We were to find a frame, something floral, fringe, a file folder, fillers such as Easter grass, basket, pillow filler, scatter table scatter, something French, something fluffy, flower, something faint, which means barely visible, felt, a form like a time card and guest check, a fold, and I squeezed that one in, fray or frazzle, what I've always called a frazzle, and a file index cards. And then we could use anything and everything else we wanted to use. So, let's do the flip, and as I come across things that I can think of, I'll tell you what I used. But I started with, and I don't know where this element goes through at. I think, though, this is the element. This is the envelope. Duh. And I stamped the image from this Hampton Art set from Graphic 45. And did this, and I did the Eiffel Tower, and you'll see that Eiffel Tower through a lot of different things. I also used this library card, and I didn't leave that stamp over here to tell you where I got that from. Then I did a paper bag with a tag, and I hadn't put it in there because I was waiting for that to dry. And I used my decorative scissors to cut the bag down. This was a silverware bag that I had avocado dyed at some point and was in my stash. And then on the back side, I did a single seam here and then used the tuck spots here. And flip that one in there. We'll have another library card. So that was my envelope item. And then this was the first signature, and they all pretty much come the same. The ledger paper, this is from that paper pad. The fabric for the inside cover. Pull this up here. My flower, my felt, another the paper pad. This was from my digital, a flip up, flip down, and it's got a pocket. I had stuff laying out here to tuck into places as I went. And now nothing's where I put it. There we go. Tuck that little, oh, that card's going to be too big. Let's tuck that one in there, because that has to be able to fold down. And let's see, another the paper piece. And this was one of the flip up, flip downs. I did like a matchbook style with a waterfall notebook in there. The magazine page with flowers, more of the ledger paper. Some of my faint was where I had taken leftover from a jelly print that didn't come out completely, and then I coffee dyed it on grill pan. Now this is where my fold came in. The sheet is folded down on this bedspread. Another flip up, flip down using the notepad I was using. Now this is interesting. This is where I brought in my filler. Ooh, pulled that a little hard. And I'm going to, when I can move this aside, I'll show you. I left one of them partially undone so I could show you what I did. But this is where I brought in the filler paper, or the filler. Some of the washi tape. This was from Decorative Paper Tape Paris from Cavallini and Company in San Francisco. And I found it on Amazon. If it's still available, I'll link it down below. I got that tipped off from Julie last year. And I've added more of the washi to decorate the flip out on that. More of my faint dyed. This I had to make my file folder. And I will leave the link for the video down below that I used. But I used, I didn't have any more of the 6x6 paper pad. But since I had to use a file folder, I just made my file folder from paper collection from Stampin' Up! That was Paris themed. And then I added more of the Hampton Art Cling Set stamped, that Paris stamp. And these were some elements from my kit, or from my stash. Made a little booklet. There's another one of my flowers and one of my frazzles. And this is the center of the first signature. This was a digi page. We had to have 4 tabs. And so this is one of them. I double layered the 2 fabrics that I used. This is my fringe and my fabric pocket. And then this was one of the flip up, flips downs that I made that I thought I needed 4 of. But I have 4 sheets of paper in there, so I'm good. More of that fabric. This was the undyed muslin, unbleached muslin. And our flip out with note papers. The magazine. This is my soft fluffy. This is a car chamois from Dollar Tree that I had in my stash for doing Christmas garland for my tree in my office. I did a flip out with this, and I put in a stack of note, and there's 2 of those in this journal. And then this is an envelope. And I do have stuff to go in these. I just haven't tucked anything in. I will do that at the end, but it's all piled over here to my left. This was a thank you card kit that I got off of clearance off $1 at Hobby Lobby, and I turned it into a flip up. More of the paper, and then this was the center signature I had to put in here. This is a combination of mini number 1, mini number 2, and the trifold that we had to do. And so I've got, for the mini challenge, we had to have fabric and then 5 different F things. And so I used a filigree stamp. This is a retired stamp set from Stampin' Up! Called Sculpted Style. And each one of them had to be different, so I stamped a different filigree image on each of the bleached muslin, added in more of the fabric, and my fiber, and a piece of lace is my favorite thing. And then over here I did a heart with the lace and more of that fiber. My papers were, we had to use at least 2 different types of paper, so this, and 4 of each one. So I used the coffee dyed parchment, and I used green ledger paper. And they all had to be edged differently, so this set has, each of the 2 sets are the same, so this one is edged with either the fiber here, the fabric here. This one I lace punched with a Martha Stewart punch, a ribbon, and then the fabric went here, and then I did this one, I did the decorative punch on the paper, on the parchment. I just kind of mixed things around as to what went where. This was my trifold that I had to do, and so Julie had one that was a photo album page, and I liked the concept, so I used, this is packaging from an planner stickers, I believe, alpha stickers, date stickers, and I used my double-sided tape to create 3 pockets, and then I covered them on the one side with the washi tape, and then I made the inserts. We had to do a frame. This is from one of our Stampin' Up! Frame sets, decorative frames. This is cut from the magazine. There's that Paris, Eiffel Tower stamp, and Moulin Rouge. More of the pages. And then we get to the other half. This was the another trifold thingy that we had to do. It was mini challenge number 3, and we had to take and create a trifold with pockets. So I have pockets here, pocket here, that has a file folder on it, and tickets with fibers and ribbon. There's one there, and then more of the papers, and then there's another one here, and then there's another one down in here. And that one's tough to get to, but that'll be my secret writing spot. And then here's the inside back of that fabric. And then we start in with signature number 3, and they're pretty much identical to make sure I had everything where I needed it to be. Some things, this flip up, I just did a I did a circle and folded it in half just for a different interest element. And my fabric flip up here, and more of my fringe. So the pockets in first signature, the flip up fabric flip was in the second signature, or in the third signature. Another one of those oopsies. And my papers, and you know, I wasn't sure if I was going to like this, but I really like how it turned out. I'm really happy with it. And so that is my journal for the February Find It and Finish It Junk Journal Challenge. Now the finish it part was, once we were done with this one, we were to find another journal that was partially finished that we needed to finish up. And I didn't get there because, you know, I did this one in the last 3 days. But I wanted to show you what I did with that edging really quick. I took a piece of the ribbon and I ran it through my Xyron so it had adhesive on the back. And then I took a piece of my paper from off of my scrap sheet. I found a wide border here. Ran a strip of the double-sided tape down the center, and then I just started laying in my basket filler like this and pressing it into that adhesive strip. And that one's gonna stay there, I guess. And just press the pieces in. And I didn't worry about if it didn't cover all the way, if I have gaps through here, because I'm going to go back over it with the ribbon, and that's okay. So I just kind of squished them on in places. Into the... As I was trying to figure out, how am I going to get filler to stay somewhere, you know? I didn't really want to do table scatter, unless I was going to do a shaker, so I thought, well, you know, let's just get creative. So, and that one's gonna not want to stick there very well because that other one's stuck on the wrong side. But I think we're there. And then you just take this, peel that off out of the way, peel this, and it's got sticky on the back, and then I'm just going to kind of lay this down through the center and press it in so it makes good contact with the filler and even the paper underneath where there were gaps. And press that down through the center. And I don't have regular scissors with me, but what I'll do is I'll come back. Hang on, let me grab those really quick. 4 pair of scissors laying here. None of them are paper scissors. But then I just came back through here and gave this a trim on either side. Just like that. And then I will go back and find where I want to put it in the journal. I'll run a strip of that double-sided tape down the back side and adhere it to the edge of the paper. And that's how I played with my basket filler for this challenge. That is my February Finish It, Find It and Finish It Just Junk Journal Challenge. Couple of days late in the recording, and for the most part it was done when it was supposed to be, but then I had to take it apart and start all over on some things so to get those signatures fit. I mean, can you imagine? I didn't realize till I got this put together how wide this was. This was made, see if I can reach across here. This was made from, the front and back were made from the bottom of a bridal invitation box from Hobby Lobby, and then I used one of the side panels. I did not realize that side panel was going to be 3 inches wide. And when I did that, can you imagine this without this center signature in here? And how much flip-flop I had in those 2 signatures? And I thought, I can't do that. I just can't. So apart it came, and went ahead and did mini challenge into challenge 1 and 2 this morning so that I could get them put in there and fill in that gap. So, tomorrow is Wednesday. I should be doing a finance thing tomorrow, but with Bob being off the entire month of February, I didn't take anything out for our savings or anything, so I'm not going to do a finance video tomorrow. And I'm pretty sure there's not going to be a video on Thursday. I got my other Rascog knockoff cart in the mail today, and so I'm redoing the filming corner. So come back here on Friday for Finish It Friday and see what's going on. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, there will be a video tomorrow. Tomorrow is the birthday and anniversary cards for the month of March. So yes, there will be a video tomorrow. Probably not, I don't know, whatever the 5th is, I think that's Friday. Maybe Thursday. But anyway, I'll be back here on the 5 on 5, whatever day that falls on, and Finish It Friday. So, lots going on in the studio. Come on and play with me. I'll be here. Thanks for dropping in. Creative blessings.